This coverage of CES is brought to you by Toyota.
Thanks in part to a partnership that is now formed with T-Mobile, the best of the Sony Xperia line is finally coming to the United States. Hey, it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And this is the Sony Xperia Z1S. Now, for most intents and purposes, the Xperia Z1S is very, very similar to the original Xperia Z1. The S moniker just denotes that this is the version made for US carriers, and the one in particular is T-Mobile, as you can see down here. But there are a couple changes in here, mostly in aesthetics, but also in a little bit of the build quality. Now, that's not to say that this phone has a lower build quality than the original aluminum-built Xperia Z1. It's just that the frame here is now of a nice hard plastic. Now, the reason why that came about is because T-Mobile was hoping to alleviate some of the connection problems that the aluminum might cause, or the metal might cause rather. So having plastic here will probably make this phone a very, very good one to have when it comes to getting good reception and getting calls and texts through just fine. Earlier, we were actually at a teardown that was conducted right in front of our eyes. Well, it was actually, the phone was already torn apart, and then a gentleman was able to put it back together in about 20 minutes, showing us all of the different components that go in. I'll tell you this much, when looking at the Sony Xperia Z1S taken apart like that and seeing all of the little bits and pieces that really create the great user experience, this little bad boy right here definitely packs a lot of power and is seriously one of the nicest built devices that I've ever seen. And obviously we still have the great 5-inch screen up front that uses the tri-luminous display with X-Reality engine software that provides a very good experience with a very nice color gamut that allows for some very, very, very lovely user experiences on the screen, whether it's media or gaming or whatnot. And around the back we still have the same G lens, the 20.7 performer that provides a lot of great pictures and is one of the best performers out there, with especially that high megapixel count. The Sony Xperia Z1 comes with all of the same bits and pieces on the inside. What we have here is the Snapdragon 800 that powers a very, very nice Timescape UI, or the Xperia UI as it sometimes is called. And what you have inside is basically the same exact experience, except some T-Mobile applications have been added in. As far as aesthetics go, aside from the plastic that I told you about, the headphone jack at the top has been moved over, just slightly over a little bit, but we still have all of the covers on the device that pertain to protecting the different ports when it comes to the IP certification. And that means that this phone is able to be underwater and is dust-proof and still be able to bounce right back. So the Sony Xperia Z1S is coming to T-Mobile, so you'll be able to take advantage of their no contracts and whatnot and be able to get your hands on one of the best phones of 2013, now updated for a 2014 audience in the United States. So this is Josh Vergara from Android Authority once again, coming to you live from the Sony booth here at CES 2014. Make sure you stay tuned because we have all of the best coverage for you, your source for all things Android.
And once again, thank you to Toyota for sponsoring our CES coverage.